wonderful day to be here, just enjoying life and having another opportunity to win at life. Again, I thank you for allowing us to come in your home week after week to bring you superb people that are being change agents. I use that word so often because I only want God to introduce you through me, people who are doing things in the community, making a difference. And this week will be nothing shy of someone who is doing just that. As you watch this show today, I want you to open your minds and be inspired and be empowered about the story that you will hear today of a young person who decided first, before she was able to work on anybody else, she needed to work on self. So today, as you watch this show, again, go get someone who's struggling with certain things, with trying to make a difference or trying to do something different in their life. This is the show that they need to watch, because when you finish here today, you're going to learn that it's all about choosing you. I asked you to welcome with me my friend, no other than Miss Mcfarlin. I call you Tucker, Miss Lady Tucker. But you know I call you Mcfarlin.
You do.
And because that stuck with me, hadn't
Right.
it? We never go by the first names because it's something about education.
Right.
We always hang on to those last names. Like Kawana just don't make sense to me. So I will call you maybe Pastor Tucker's wife throughout the show, Mcfarlin throughout the show, but I'll call you an overcomer more than anything during this segment.
Thank you.
Welcome to be here today. We thank you for joining us.
And thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, I wanted people to get to know you through this show. They watch you on social media, you're on Facebook, and you share a lot of your journey, but I think we needed to sit down and have a personal conversation because I think some people are just thinking it was easy. And as we begin to show pictures of you of your before during this segment, they're going to see that it wasn't easy. We're going to talk about people who are saying that they can't do or just making an excuses not to do. And we're going to allow you to tell them what was your aha moment that woke you up that day and you decided, listen, I need to win at life.
Okay.
Tell us about that. What happened? You look great. Can I just say, you look phenomenal.
Thank you.
Got your Nike suit on. You just wearing it. Got it going on. Always had a beautiful smile, beautiful hair, beautiful demeanor. But what was it about you that decided to change you?
That's a great question, and thank you again for having me on the show. What changed me, what gave me my awakening was I had gotten sick.
Right.
I gotten really sick. Went to the emergency room, and they was treating me for a common cold. Long story short, the doctors decided to take some tests, and they came back, and the doctors was asking me, did I fly a lot? And I was like, no, I don't fly. And she was saying, well, we need to get you back. Your blood work is way out of whack or whatever. And they began to run tests, and they had a MRI, and I had multiple blood clots in both lungs.
Wow.
And finding that out, she took me right up. They put me right in ICU. I stayed in the ICU a couple of weeks, and I had gotten really sick, and she just came out and told me, she said, most people that come in with blood clots in their lungs, they don't leave.
Right.
Because they're already in your internal organ when they would normally move. And, my mom died from blood clots, my brother, and so I was kind of worried, and it was just like, she was telling me, for your age, you're too heavy.
Oh.
And I knew that. She didn't have to tell me.
She didn't have to
I
tell
knew
you.
because
So
I felt bad.
You knew it.
Because leading up to me having to go to the emergency room, I would have sleepless nights, breaking out in cold sweats. I wasn't able to breathe. I was just uncomfortable. It's a stigma. People say you're not comfortable with yourself with weight on you. That was not my case. I didn't feel good.
Right.
And so I wanted to change that.
Well, let's go back because you said you lost your mom.
Mm-hmm.
You lost your brother.
I did.
They're unhealthy living.
Mm-hmm.
And so she didn't have to tell you that you needed to lose weight.
Right.
Sometimes, though, we need to hear it out loud.
Right.
Something you already knew.
Right.
And so you decided, you said it wasn't about you being uncomfortable. You've always been a beautiful woman.
Right.
It was you didn't feel good.
I didn't feel good physically.
And so there's somebody out there watching saying, if you already don't feel good, now you want me to go and start doing these exercises that's going to make me feel worse?
And then not only that, Dr. Bell, I didn't feel good physically, but I didn't like what I saw in the mirror.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about that.
It wasn't that I felt ugly. I just didn't feel comfortable with some of the things that I wanted to wear and I couldn't wear. Let's just be honest. It didn't fit well for me, and I just wanted to change it.
You keep using that word change, and nobody had to make you change.
Nobody.
It comes from where?
It came from within. It came from me knowing that I needed to do something. And I kept saying to myself, my husband was great, and I had a daughter, but I knew how it felt, how much of a void it felt with growing up without a mom, even though I had my grandparents. And I said, well, I got great friends. My husband is great, but at the end of the day, my daughter is mine. Right. And I said, if I don't make the necessary change for my health, I may die.
Ooh, some heavy stuff today, but it's some real stuff.
It's real. So
we work together.
Right.
And that's why you refer to me as Dr. Bell.
Mm-hmm.
We work together, work alongside each other. You are a wonderful asset to have in the building, and was very happy for you when you got the opportunity to go to Lynette City Schools.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful superintendent Jennifer Boyd. So I could understand why you wanted to branch out, because there was more opportunity for you there.
Yes, ma'am.
But I remember we used to have conversations. You used to say, Dr. Bell, how you get up every morning and do this every day? And I told you, I said, at that point, I had been doing it for years, and I said, Ms. McFarlin, that if I don't, I feel like I'll die. Like
right.
My health, I got hit by a car, so it's not an option anymore. So I think that's where you begin to be.
Mm-hmm.
It no longer became an option for you. And the reason why I bring that story up, because you started your weight loss journey, you started taking your health serious, and you came back to me and you said, man, I get it now.
Mm-hmm.
What did you mean by that when you said, I get why you can't live without it?
Because it's something that you need to do for yourself, and not only do you do for yourself, it's important. Even with our spiritual walk, the Bible wants us to be in good health and prosper. And so I knew that I wasn't living a full life because I wasn't healthy. And so when I said that, I was like, because I would pick at you and say, why are you eating that? How do you do this every day? We would jive, I would jive you out the classroom. Like, Dr. Bell, don't come here because we finna eat some pizza. We finna eat good.
I walk around with my
and
wife.
You walk around with lettuce with no dressing, like a rabbit. So I was like a rabbit. But then now I was like, after I started making the necessary change, I was like, now I get it. She feels good.
Right.
She looks good.
Right.
And why not?
And so let's talk about. So I think people watching this show are watching you or watching your videos and watch how you go to the gym. I think that's all it is. Like, you just got to get up and go to the gym, and you can drive right down the street and go get you a Big Mac. People really need to understand that it's 80% of your food, 20% of working out, and 80% of your food. So talk to us about the necessary adjustments you made concerning your eating.
Okay. So when I started working out, I remember my husband would tell me, this wasn't my first spill at trying to do it, but I would go so far and stop.
Right.
So I knew how it felt to stop, but I didn't know how I would look if I kept going.
Come on now.
So I stopped stopping.
Ooh, that's a word.
And so what I did was, I started doing it. So I was like, my eating is still off. And Mr. Theo Bailey, he was the guy that I was working out with. He's awesome. By Bailey, he does work out. I recommend him to anybody. He gave me a start, and Torrance Roy has helped me along the way. Just great people who don't mind pouring into you.
Yeah.
And so he would just tell me, you got to eat right. He was like, why would you come here and do this and not eat right? But I couldn't really grasp the eating. And so one day, I would pick at Chris about coming to the gym. My friend Keto Chris, she would come. And so the thing, it was amazing how she introduced me to keto.
Right.
And it's not for everybody, it's not. But it worked for me because I was so heavy.
Right.
I'm 340, I need something. I needed something to go by.
Right.
And so when she started, showing me how to do it, and I was going through that process, it was everything that I like to eat that I could eat.
Right.
And so I knew that I couldn't go get a pizza, but I could still have pizza without the bread. So I would start eating like crustless pizzas and different things like that. And I started to feel better. I started to be able to get up and wake up early and put me on a sleep regimen. And I was my whole body started to change.
Right.
And so, there's no way, let me say this, Dr. Bell. I want to say this to somebody. I don't know who it may be for. There's no way to do it without cutting something out of your normal diet. You have to eat healthy.
Go ahead and tell them right there. Come on, say it.
You have to eat healthy, meaning not saying I don't have a cheat day, but my cheat days are not like once every week. No, it may be once every 3 weeks or something like that. But what I mean is, and there's no way for you to change your diet and proper exercise and your body might change.
Right.
I did it for health, but my body began to change.
And you started liking what you saw
And
in
I
the mirror.
started liking what I saw in the mirror. I started feeling myself a little bit. Now I just went.
No, but you know, it's okay. You know, my husband and I, we call it a Fatterday. We've been married almost 30 years, and Deacon Bell, it's just, to be honest, it's just so unfair that men can just cut size and just drop 20 pounds.
Right.
So, and the good Deacon Bell, you know, who I love and adore, but he's like the piece with the crust.
Right.
And so I always tell people, like, I wasn't born in a capsule. If I see, I love pizza, or I love hot wings.
Right.
And so what we do it together. And so we have a Saturday. So I just employ people to take a day or every week or every 3 weeks and enjoy life. You can't diet. You have to live.
You have to live.
So it's not, I don't diet. A lot of people may say that's not true. It's just how I eat. And although I don't do keto per se, I'm a very low carb, high protein person.
Same thing.
So and it's the same concept. You just got to know what works for you. And don't look at the Frankie Bells or the Kawana Mcfarlin Tuckers and say, you can start this in a week, and then when you don't drop 20 pounds, you're discouraged. This has been a lifestyle. Like you said, that was years ago when you met me. This is something that I took on years ago, and it's a part of who I am. And now it has become a part of who you are, and the people who are deciding to start to change their life, it's going to eventually become a part of them.
Right.
But you have to start somewhere.
Right.
So now we talk about the eating. We talk about the weight loss. Let's talk about your program where you have people now that you are, like Terrence Rudd did to you and like Mr. Bailey did to you. You have become their Torrance Rudd and Mr. Bailey. Let's talk about those people. How does it make you feel to know that you're changing them?
It makes me feel good. And people, it's so crazy how No Girl Left Behind came about because, like I said, you know, you probably, like, you fine, Dr. Bell. You been fine. You know, you always say it. You got a nice shape. Now me, I've had to work, and I have weight. That's why I tell people I'm still a plus size girl. I just work out. I want to be a certain size. I got about 30 more pounds to be where I want to be, and you know, I'm just trying to maintain my healthy lifestyle. Did I know that the weight was gonna come out like this when I started? I didn't. I was just trying to get healthy.
Right.
And so how No Girl Left Behind came about is I knew I needed somebody tangible. I would read stuff on the internet. I would see it, but I needed somebody local that I could put my hand on and say, hey, I was 340, and girl, you can do it.
Woo, that's good.
I needed somebody that I could reach out to, or I could inbox and get a response.
Right.
Or say, how did you really do it? Tell me the negatives and the positives of it.
Right.
And so I wanted to become that girl. Because I'm telling you, I searched high and low. I couldn't find nobody. I couldn't find nobody. I found people that gave me great advice, but I couldn't find a plus size lady that had done it locally enough for me to reach out and say, and if they were, they weren't promoted, so I didn't have anybody. Right. So I wanted, because I knew how hard it was for me, so I wanted to become somebody that somebody could reach out to and be face to face and could reach out and touch me and, you know, be an accountability partner for her. And so I was like, no child left behind one night, and my husband said, no girl left behind.
Oh, wow.
He said, that's what you do. He said, you ain't trying to leave no other girl behind. And so that's how it came about.
And it has really stuck. T-shirts, promotion.
Right.
Every time you put up a No Girl Left Behind video, I have to share it because it speaks to so many people. Speaks to me. It says you're not leaving anybody behind. So I love when you put those videos up where you have young ladies that come in who may not be as healthy as you, but are smaller. Right. They just can't do what you do. Right. And I think people look at the size and then they judge the what you're capable of. I have a niece right now, Tasha, who's struggling, but she put up a video every day about her journey. And I can't wait till she get to that place where she looks one day and she's excited about herself the way you are. You talk about Pastor Tucker. And how and I saw you smile. You smile like I do.
That's
like
my guy.
When you,
that's my guy.
Well, baby, when you talk about the D, I'll be like, man, you got a boy.
Yes.
So I love the way you talk about Pastor Tucker. I love how he supports you. Tell me what that looks like to have that type of support from someone that just say, you got it. Look at you, rah, rah, your biggest cheerleader.
It has been everything to me. I couldn't have done it. I can't do it without him. He has not complained. I spend countless hours at the gym. I go Mondays and Tuesdays at 5 a.m. and I'm right back at 3 o'clock. I go all summer. I'm off there most days. I have even taken naps there. I eat my meals there. I'm there because people don't know it because I don't post it a lot. I have great clientele. Wow. I just don't post everybody.
Right.
God has opened up a door for me to help, and He's opened up a door for me to get other things, and I have some other things that are coming, coming out or coming forth with certifications and different things like that I'm working on, and so. He has been everything. He has maintained Tick and Talk at the house and sugar. He has maintained. He's maintained everything. And he when I'm home, he has helped me with not even pressuring me to have a certain meal. He would eat what I would eat, or his mom or his uncle. Something they would make sure he had the things he would need. He has been great. What I like about Pastor Tucker is that he has not forced my hand to a work that God has called him to do.
What? Listen, you know what your gift is. And he knows what his
gift is. And so he supports my gift, and he allows me to undergird his gift.
That's right.
And we work together.
That's how a marriage
should be. And so that's how it works.
Let's go back to something you just said. First of all, we got to let everybody know who Tick and Talk is. We know who Sugar is. That's your sweet daughter.
Yeah.
She's off in college.
She's at AUM.
She's at AUM doing very well. Very sweet girl. Very humble girl. From the first time I met her, I've always said that. But you have 2 more children.
Tick and Talk.
Tick and Talk.
I do.
They work at Dollar General.
They do.
They work part-time, full-time.
Full-time.
They work full-time. But tell people, who are Tick and Talk? Your 2 what?
They're my dogs. They're my 2 daughters. They're the babies, and they're 1. And they run 5 points.
They run 5 points. Everybody in 5 points.
Everybody knows Tick and Talk.
5 points Alabama, for those of you who are not knowing where we're from. 5 points Alabama. Tick and Talk are the babies that work at Dollar General. I mean, I promise you, they have an application on file. Because they're there every day.
Yes.
And if they are not at home, we can rest assured
they're at Dollar General. They are.
So you said that your husband, you know, I always tell people it wouldn't be no Frankie without Felix. You know, when people try to say, oh, F and F, Frankie and Felix. No, sir. F and F is Felix and Frankie.
Right.
See, because Felix is the supporter of the Frankie. They just see the Dr. Bell. They don't understand at home, I get to be Frankie.
Right.
And again, I'll mention a person I interviewed last week, Toby. I love him. He's Toby the King. And he said something that hit home with me. He said, when you go home at night, you have to live with yourself. He said, no matter what we have to do for people out here in this show, I try to be as transparent as possible, but they don't know it all. Because at the end of the day, I got to have somebody to go home to that'll say, it's all right, you missed that one, but it's good. Every time I leave this show, I'm very critical of myself. Like, I should have said this, I should have asked that. But at home, Deacon Bell is always like, you know, you got it, you got it. And the same thing with Pastor Tucker. So you have things coming out, you're working on certifications, you work for Lynette City Schools.
I do.
You work there you're also a volleyball coach.
I am junior high girls volleyball coach. I drive buses and instructional assistant, parapro. I do it all. I love Lynette City School.
Of course.
I love them.
And when you came, again, when we worked together at Chambers County, I knew that it wasn't about what you didn't like about me.
No.
It's what you needed to do at Lynette.
Yes.
And listen now, you got I know why you like Lynette. You know, they stole Donna Bell from me too. I ain't never got over that yet. And you know, but because you have people there that are just, I don't know. I just worked with their kids today on a project we're doing. And I don't know, the assistant principals, the principal there, Mr. Lumpkin, Ms. Colwell, did I say that right?
Yeah, Ms. Colwell, yeah.
They were just so
amazing.
Yes, receptive. And not that the people that I didn't work with at Valley, you know, God moved me. I loved it. The parents were so good to me. The kids are still good to me. It's just that having that unit of people that love you.
We're a family.
Yeah, it is a family. And that's what when we were at Burns, that's what we had, and I appreciate that. So how much weight have you lost?
I'm right at 98 now. I did it this morning. I was at 108, but I've been building muscle.
Right.
And so because I'm lifting, and it does shed, but you have to trick your body in and out of different things.
Right.
And so I'm right at 98. I was at I think it's like 340. I'm at like 330, 232.
That's a whole
something
person.
Like that. Yeah.
So we need to go back and so, because that scale will mess your mind up.
Yeah, it will. I don't weigh a lot, just enough.
Right.
Because it can be. Some people weigh every day, and that's good if it's good for them. I just say, do what's good for you. The scale will trick you.
Yes,
It'll put you in a setback because you'll say, I'm working hard, but there's no weight coming out, but we play down inches.
Right.
You know, and so inches are better than scale weight sometimes.
You better hear me.
And so, but if you keep working at it and you keep doing what's necessary, releasing the scale is going to change.
I am a recovering bulimic, and I talk about that in my book, And Choose to Win. Bulimic for 17 years. Only stopped because I got pregnant with my son. And God, I was pregnant. Bulimic all through Jessica.
Wow.
And God spoke to me and said, Devin won't make it. So I've always called myself a recovery because it's always a part. I compare it to crack cocaine, or alcohol. I'm always in recovery, so I have to be very careful. And I thank God I have a husband who understands that. So he's very cognizant of that. But you're right. I'm one of those people. I have 2 scales in my house, and even though my pant size are a lot smaller than they used to be, I still get caught up on the scale because Deacon Bell has introduced me to weightlifting. And it's when I look at the camera. My son,
it's
muscle. Kids are just honest. Devin was like, Mom, you aging backward. You look a lot better than you did. And I'm like, I was weight-wise, I was smaller on the scale. He said, you look different. You look better.
Right.
And so you're right, people. You cannot let the scale trick you because it will.
It will.
It will. So you've lost 98 pounds. You're inspiring and encouraging. You're no girl left behind. You're Believers Baptist. Is it Believers Baptist?
It's Believers Church International.
Believers Church International, where y'all are serving the kingdom like no other.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about what it takes to serve the kingdom in this capacity.
Oh man, people they just see you on Sunday and they see the Facebook post, but it's work behind the word. It's work behind the word. And I thank God for Pastor Tucker. Like I said, he just allows me to support him. I'm very, what's the word? I'm hands-on in some instances, in some areas. I do certain things that, I need to do, but I'm more of a uplifter and a prayer behind the prayer.
Right.
Like, he's very hands-on and he does a lot. We have a wonderful staff at Believers Church International, which allows me to be and do what I need to do.
Right.
I don't have to always worry about everything. God has given us great people to help carry God's church. And, it's just been great. This is our 3rd year, and God has really opened up doors for us. I mean, if you knew the way that we started and where we at now, God has been amazing.
He has been, but I like what you said. There's work behind the work.
Yeah.
Just even with exercise.
Right.
I tell people, even when I get up in the morning, and I get up in the morning at 3:50 a.m., and I've been doing it for years. But like some mornings are so hard to get up.
It is.
I had 25 breaks. Some morning when it's raining outside, talking about a support system. My husband knows he's got to have the painkillers at the bedside. Some days I can go without them, but some days he said, it's raining now. I better put something down there. That's that support system that you're talking about. Some days just mentally, I just don't want to do it.
Right.
Some days I run every morning. That's my thing. That's my therapy. And because we're talking so much about mental health, even if it don't look for the loss of your weight, do something to help you with your mental
That's
state.
it.
My mental health is because when I work out, that's my therapy. And look, that's why I'm not a Kawana.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not a coach. Cause when I'm in the gym in the morning, when somebody say, "Hey," I'll be like, "Go on now." I'm not your girl. But that's my time, because so many times we're pulled in so many different ways. We gotta find a way to find time for us. And you may have to get up earlier in the morning. Eric Thomas says it best. You got all your life to sleep when you die. Get up, take about 15 minutes of your day, even if it's just 30 minutes a day. Get up and do something for yourself. I promise you, not only is it gonna help you, it's gonna help people around you. Because it has been statistically and research proven that people that work out are happier people.
Listen, I'm easier to be around. My friends will tell you. Seriously.
Because you work
Because
out.
I work out, and the gym has became grief therapy for me.
Right. Because you lost so much.
I lost so much, and I would be so overwhelmed. I think my husband loved that I go to the gym. He probably like, you better.
So you have some people that you work out with. We call them Keto Christy.
I work out with her.
Cannot mention her.
Yeah.
She has just done some fantastic things. Y'all work together.
That's my
she
girl.
She has the meal plans, and you can find her on Facebook and Christy Story. Or Keto Christy.
Yeah.
You're no little girl left behind. They can find you on social media, and there's some other to be looking out for some things that you got. If you have one thing to make sure that the people hear today about this journey, about taking your life back, choosing to win, choosing you, what would be that message for them?
It would be, you give yourself to your kids, you give yourself to your husband, you give yourself to your job, give yourself to you.
Oh, wow.
You have to give yourself to you. Nothing affects. I love church. I love Tick and Talk. I love Sugar Terry. But nothing interferes with my gym time. I gotta have it.
Listen,
it's for me.
You said something. Listen.
Nothing.
My phone better not ring during the gym. Somebody, it better be the coroner. Because
It can
that
wait.
is my protected time.
It is.
So what we're saying to the people out there on Facebook, Roku, Apple TV, all over the place where we are now, take time for you.
Take time for you.
And
You deserve
protect that time.
it. It has to be protected.
Like, and don't let anything or anybody.
Because if they love you, they're going to respect that.
If they love you, they're going to respect
Respect
that.
because it's only a few minutes.
See, when I was working on my Ph.D. and I used to have to work on my dissertation, my husband would protect that time and anybody else. Well, she's at the library. So it has to be like that.
Yeah.
Or when you're at work, your family don't call you.
Right.
That you have to treat it like it's your job.
You do.
It has been such an amazing honor for you to. So is there any lasting words you want? How do the people contact you? What
I'm on Facebook as Kawana Latrice Mcfarlin Tucker. I'm on Instagram as KW Tucker32, and I don't have Twitter.
Okay.
But I'm working on getting some things like that. You can just shoot me an inbox or anything like that. I have some cards that'll be at the gym.
Okay.
And
Which
so,
gym do you work out?
The 24-hour fitness right here, workout anytime in Valley.
Okay.
Mr. Gary Boatwright is the manager there. He's
Okay.
awesome.
Right.
Yeah, it's an awesome environment. Everybody help. It's a family there. And so you can reach out to him or you can come and he'll let you know. If you ask for me, he'll come in. They're just great people.
So they can reach you, they can see you. So if they want to start today, is it too late to start today to get themselves together?
They can inbox me, and I try not to turn people down, but I'm crunched. But summer is coming, so I have a little bit more space because my job comes first, and we do volleyball. We coach the other guys into weight training, and that's what I love to do.
Right.
And so I'll fit you in though. We can work something out.
At least reach out to her to show you how to get
there
started.
you go. Listen, it's not about me. It's about what you're trying to do for yourself to work. It's nothing about me. I'm telling you, I'm cheering. When I see women post things on Facebook, it just do something to my spirit. I'm like, just keep going, girl. You're going to win after a while. And I would shoot people in inbox. I'm like, hey, I saw that. I see you, girl. Keep working.
So keep working. Keep working. Posting your videos.
Right.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Do it.
Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Listen. Oh, I love it. I hate we only have 30 minutes because this was so fun. I always love you. I appreciate you.
Thank
and
you.
I do miss you.
Thank
so
you.
again, we thank you so much for watching. We're going to have more and more people like this to inspire and encourage you. Reach out to her. You heard what she said, 98 pounds. That's a whole person.
Right.
Start today. Do it for you today. You got to make the decision to choose you. And remember, I always say, guys, as I sit back and relax, if you have one decision to make in this lifetime, you know what it is. Make that decision. Choose you and choose to win. Thanks for watching. See you next time.